Okay, so now is the moment of truth. We've already gone over how to hold your bow properly, and so now we're going to work on a few very important exercises that are going to help you develop a very stable bow hold. Now, first of all, keep in mind that you should always have a very light and relaxed hold on your bow. Never tense or tighten your hand when you hold your bow, because we actually need to have a relaxed arm at all times to play with a very supple and natural sound. So instead of tensing everything and moving everything like this, what you want to do is actually more akin to a dance. You want to allow each part of your body to react to the movement of the others. So when you move your arm, your forearm also reacts, and then your arm, your hand, your wrist reacts, your fingers also react. So it's all actually very supple and reactive. And that's actually what we're going to apply onto our bow hold as well. Now, before we start with our first exercise, we're going to go over the same thing once again, how to hold the bow correctly. But you already know how to do that. So remember, your thumb goes on the underside of the bow, actually touching the hairs a little bit, that's perfectly fine. Your pinky on top of the eye of the bow. Remember, it always has to be round like this and never like that. Then these two fingers covering your thumb and your index finger curling around the silver winding, more or less like this. Remember, key point, lean your hand slightly forward as well. And then to start our first exercise, which is an exercise I go over with all my students, and it really helps them develop a good sense of balance of the bow, it's called the clock. And for the clock, the first thing you want to do is actually hold your arm out completely straight and parallel to the floor. And your bow goes, you guessed it, to 12 o'clock. So your bow is actually going to become the second hand of this clock. And now 1 second at a time, we're going to go all the way from 12 down to 6. We cannot really go, it's not humanly possible to go all the way around to 12 back again. So we'll just go from 12 to 6 right now. And we'll start actually going in this direction, the direction of your hair, the direction your bow hair is facing. So we'll move 1 second at a time, going down. 1, 2, 3, and every time you just move a couple of centimeters. Doesn't have to be exactly 1 second, just a little bit until you go all the way down, and you can really feel your pinky finger working as the counterbalance of your bow. Now, important point, try to avoid doing this. You'll find your body wanting to do this as you turn. Your body also starts turning that way. Try to not involve any part that doesn't need to be involved. So your shoulders always stay at exactly the same height, or both at the same height. Your arm also stays at the same height. Your head doesn't need to move, so don't involve it either. And then little by little we go back up again. 1 second at a time, coming back up. Very good. And when you go up specifically, you really feel the work that you need to, how you need to involve your pinky finger to really bring the bow back up. At least that's the idea. Start using parts of your body in ways that you've never used before. So let's try that once again. Going back again down in the same direction. Shoulders straight. And nothing that doesn't need to move should be moving. Voila, we're at 6 o'clock, and now we go back up slowly. Very good. Arm is parallel to the floor, bow perfectly perpendicular. Very good. And now we're going to go in the opposite direction. So now we go back again to 6, but now it's actually your index finger, the one you're actually relying on to the most to carry most of the weight of the bow. As you go all the way down. Very good. All the way down to 6. And here the same thing. You'll find that you want to start turning this way generally because maybe your shoulders lack a little bit of flexibility and so on. But don't worry. Even if you cannot go all the way down to 6, don't worry about that. As you progress, as you repeat this, little by little, you become more and more flexible and more stable. So key point is to actually keep both your shoulders at the same height and keep your bow hold also stable. Let's try that once again. I'm sure you're not yet so tired. So we can go once again down all the way to 6. Keeping everything at the same height, very good. And now we come back up slowly. Your hand should be relaxed, your arm perfectly straight and parallel to the floor, and your bow comes back to 12. Very good. Now, once you've done this a few times, you'll notice that your bow hold actually starts becoming a lot more stable, but don't overdo it. You should maybe aim to do this every day just for a couple of minutes, just 2 eyes in each direction. Now, what I also like to do afterwards is actually connect them. So instead of going from 12 to 6 and then 12 to 6 that way, I actually go from 6 to 6. So how about we try that once as well? We start down here and go from 6 a.m. down to 6 p.m. slowly. Once again, just 1 second at a time. Take your time with this exercise. It's important to really feel the range of movement of your arm, of your hand, and how you can actually develop a stable bow hold regardless the angle of the bow. So you might find that sometimes your bow hold is going to, slip around and your fingers are going to change. Try to, gently struggle against that and keep always a stable bow hold. It's normal that at the beginning it feels a bit awkward, but remember that it's only because you've never done it before. It's unfamiliar, not only for you, but for your body as well. And so the more you do it, the easier it's going to get.